into the heart of the world. Whorl. Though our plight cries for out of our action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none. Of that you may be sure, but Limline herself would struggle to best the Lord of Whorl in his element. In a straight fight, we would make meat and match wood of us. He would make meat and match wood of us. We need another plan. That is much plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room. Yeah, makes sense. But I don't know which plan we can come up with, like... The thing won't get out of the sea. We need to face it. On the water.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western La Noscia. Halfstone it was called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the Company of Heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Halfstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Oh, okay.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystals stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Halfstone may well befall a larger settlement, even Limsa. That cannot happen. The primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The Company of Heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe.
Yeah, but we can't exactly remove the water out of him.
This,
won't go up there.
is what the Company of Heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works.
Yeah.
Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldic and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe, but I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed two ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel.
I don't get what we are all
Suffice
smelling.
it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
'Twill be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, Warrior of Light.
Don't worry about it. I can do this easily. It's just a little fish. What is there to that? Being held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed them. That I should live to behold one is humbly and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I have come face to face with a primal, I do begin to understand why guardians fear them so. What is it? A message, Admiral. I judge it best to be delivered at once. I'm listening. According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan. One of the company of heroes. The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual. I am disinclined to put any store by this claim. And even should it be true, it is as Yustala said. None save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan, and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, what could he tell us that we do not know already? And yet, having Ranger Limp's survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, we can afford to ignore this man. Can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all. The twin vessel will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom report on this supposed Primal Slayer's claims. Risei, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you a torment of waiting for the reckoning idlers. in idleness. The man you are looking for is believed to be a resident of the Great Fleet in Lower Lanosia. The storm privates sent question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful. Alright, so who dares to claim that he defeated the Primal? Shouldn't they be tempered on the process? But yeah, the company of heroes were the guys that were the protagonists from before, so I guess they should have some sort of protection, maybe the same. You're quite far. They are in the... Oh wait, Lower Lanos? Oh fuck. I thought it was Lower Decks. You know what I'm thinking now? If this guy's the same guy that told us that he defeated Titan, then I'm just gonna beat his ass. Oh my god. Now look here, you have your bloody story, right after you carried those sack of grains over the mill. But, sir, that's what you said before we had me pick those oranges for you, and before I mucked the chocobo stables, and before I rolled that millstone over the mill, and also before... Gods, man, I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days, and do you hear me complaining? Ah, I suppose some of just ain't made to root for the roughest stuff. Alright, I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that old tongue throwing ain't the general soul. Now prick up your ears, cause I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one sitting, he can. The tale of Tungstrom's epic victory over the dead primal Leviabetus. Now, Leviabetus is huge, make no mistake. To give you a big idea to how big, each of his scales is about as wide across as me members long. And that's no mean feat, let me tell ye. When I fought him, I could barely see for all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagon worth at least. He even knocked me trusted eggs over me hands at one stage. Course that provoked to be a grave mistake. What happened next? Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots. But not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let me mates in the company of heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I am a modest man, and I am a modest as well as heroic, mayhap too modest. Now, there is some that say we can never truly beat Leviabetus, that you've got to learn to live with him and make the best of the bad situation. Not the company though. It's you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the attention, it's all. Take back everything I said. I was never a part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm Chocobo Dung. I am the maggots you find wriggling in Chocobo Dung. I have to lie to a woman to tumble him, and that don't happen much. Me member's tiny. He's pathetic. Oh my god, what's going on? Please stop. I sure as hell don't fight Leviabetus, but I have seen him with my own eyes. It was a fair years back when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shrinking duties one day and loitering about the harbor when I saw it. A great big massive sea serpent some miles off the coast, with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, cannons firing, so I was so bloody scared I soiled myself right then and there. Wow, oh gods, just remember that day made me soil myself over again. Bro. Hey, wait, if you're asking after Leviabetus, I means it's plain to fight, eh? Hey, 80? Well, take care, he really is terrible, dreadful. I tell you, if you're not careful, you end up in his gullet or at the bottom of the sea. Why, you worthless lying whoreson, I can't believe you made me handle Chocobo Dung. I should have known once the report was about Lower Lanosia. Real say, this is Minfilia. Were you able to learn out of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon? Leviathan beat us? I see. That is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at the Morabai dry docks. Pray make your way here as soon as you are able. You are pathetic. You really are. But I don't like how intentional they make that be. I think they went a little bit over too much with this guy. And a hero comes from the top. Ha ha ha. I'm told your jaunt to the Great Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lad. I'll wager it serves to take your mind off the events of recent days, though. But enough with the nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the Whorl Eater, I call her, is complete. And she surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonnage, she has been fitted with a platform. Did you and yours might maneuver freely in battle? I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. The Whorl Eater, and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the order and we shall bear you to the Leviathan. Okay, I think we're doing this then.